What's going on, ladies and gents? Steve Rooster bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. And today we're going to be talking about Operation Red Crow. Now, mostly we're going to be sticking to the map, the operators, for this video, because if I want to talk about the update and all the other little things that are coming along, I think I would take up a lot of your time and that'd be unnecessary. So I'm probably going to release a separate video about the update and some other hopes and stuff for Rainbow Six Siege, like their big, what's the word I'm looking for here? Netcode is what most people call it, is hit registration update. Something I'm looking forward to, obviously, as a Rainbow Six Siege player. But today we're going to be talking about the new map Skyscraper, Echo and Hibana. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I'm terrible with names anyways. But that's for the most part what I heard her pronunciation to be throughout the stream and whatnot. So in case you missed it, the gameplay is from the Twitch live stream that happened, well, as I'm recording this was technically today, Sunday, but as you guys are watching it. Now, I do have to apologize, throughout the Twitch live stream there was a section where the contrast is super high and it's really dark, and as you'll see throughout the gameplay, that you'll see bits and section of it is look a little weird, so sorry about that. But for the most part, these operators actually look pretty solid. They're both interesting in their own regard, and I think that's something I like about these operators, that they do have a little bit more depth to them than the rest of them. Now, Hibana comes equipped with this kind of grenade launching device. Now what it does is it launches these 3 pegs into a reinforced wall, or really anything by that matter, but it can be used on a reinforced wall, and you can blow open the and then you can detonate it, so you can create a thermite-esque detonation through a wall that's reinforced and have your way with it. Now, if you want to use all your charges on the wall, you can, or if you want to use 2, I think that is what is required to make a vaulting door. And then like a vaulting hole, like Sledge's hammer would normally do. If you use 1, that's kind of like more of a Blackbeard alley, where if you put it head height, Blackbeard can kind of peek through, and that actually really makes Blackbeard a very strong character. And if he was still post-patch, and post-patch I mean he still had a stupidly powerful shield, I think the meta of Siege would be broken. All you need would be pretty much a Blackbeard and Hanabi to win. Or Hibana, I'm sorry, once again, terrible with names. And you could probably wreck shop with that, because the reinforced wall you can't shoot through with regular bullets, and if Mr. Blackbeard can peek his face through the little thing that she's blown open for him, it probably ruin the meta and everyone would rage quit and, break their discs. But obviously he's been changing regardless of that. So she obviously can detonate holes in walls, floors and stuff, and then she has pretty much where, so she can make it pretty much a thermite hole at any size that she wants to. Now, this is really good if you want to take out one solid wall with her, you can use all your charges. But this, once again, it depends on, as the player, what you want to do with said charges. They are remote detonated, so after you shoot them, they'll sit in the wall, and then later you can detonate them ASAP, whatever you really want to do. It's all up to you. So these can be blocked by bandits, and bandits' electric charges, and Mute's jammers. Now, interesting enough, throughout the stream, one of the devs mentioned that if Bandit's electric wire is already up, now excuse me if I'm wrong, if Bandit's electric wire was already up, her charges would be fine. But if we did what we call, as we, the Siege community, is mostly known as the Bandit trick, where you would place the electric wire down after, that would actually neutralize her charge. So it seems they've kind of acknowledged this almost strategy into what people call the glitch in the beginning of its I guess, life cycle, but it's not really a glitch if that's how the gadgets can be used. So if you want to take out, you can neutralize it with Bandit, or Mute can jam her at long range. So once again, she is probably best pick. She's pretty much a lightweight thermite. I believe she's max speed, from what the gameplay showed. She had some sort of Scar H-esque rifles, kind of like the, more on the lines of Capital's rifles, kind of like more on the lines of his Para FAL, kind of thing along those lines. And I didn't see her other weapon. Oh yeah, she has the shotgun. She has the Supernova shotgun. And then, actually, surprisingly, the Japanese come also with a secondary SMG, which is interesting. So Echo can actually have a SMG, but we'll talk about him later, just like Smoking. But regardless, back to Hibana over here. So yeah, so once again, she paired good with Twitch and Thatcher and Blackbeard and all that. And then, she does kind of replace the need for Thermite, which is nice. And on some maps, you can be more creative, say, with that Blackbeard strat I was talking about earlier. But yeah, there's many new ways you can pretty much approach situations now. Even if you think of the map Hereford base, you can actually just break open a little bit of that wall to where Blackbeard can peek in himself. That I'm talking about on that main level where there's that giant wooden door that most all times people breach on through. You can just have Blackbeard peek through that instead and have him harass the enemy team instead of everyone charging through there, and then the enemy team gets cycled in as Blackbeard with his powerful shield can pin everyone down. It'd be an interesting new strategy. There's many options with Hibana that comes into play. Now, overall, she seems like a regular character. Her equipment are, I think she had claymores. She had claymores, if I'm not mistaken. She had claymores and flashbangs. So yeah, those are, or was it stuns? I don't know. Stun grenades or flashbangs, whichever one. So yeah, she has no real lethal offensive throwing device. But she does have the claymore, which is nice. I think that makes her the first max speed operator to have claymores, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so moving on to Echo. Echo seems to be a very defensive operator, which is I'm so happy about. Now, Echo's drone is really, really futuristic and interesting. Echo's drone can pretty much hover along the ground. I don't know if it's completely silent or not, but after you want to deploy an area, it will zoom up to the ceiling and it will actually cloak. And when it cloaks, you can release the sound cannon. Now, the sound cannon, I believe it doesn't do any damage. But what it does is you pretty much dispatch this giant sound wave where it causes pressure to the enemy player and it disorientates them like they're being hit with a flashbang. Or not like a flashbang where they're blinded, but their screen you see double and like all this pressure. Kind of looks like a concussion almost, for the most part. So that's really interesting. And then after he does that, he rushes you down and shoots you. Now, I believe Echo, from what I heard, is actually a max armor operator. So a lot of times if you can, now remember his drone is cloaked, so IQ actually comes in once again very handy in this situation, where she finds that drone. Most likely Echo might be lurking nearby. Now of course you don't have to sit right beside the drone as Echo, because most people might be expecting that if they get hit with a sound wave, they'll expect Echo to come out of nowhere. But he does have an SMG, which is the MP5 SD, and I think this is always suppressed because it is the SD variant. That stands for silenced, I believe. I'm not too bad with that kind of gun knowledge, but there is that. And he comes with the Supernova shotgun. So at the end of the day, I don't know what would be more useful for him. Once again, the Japanese operators do come with a backup SMG. And in Echo's case, unlike Smoke's, where he can actually utilize the shotgun more because the person is seeing double and all the shenanigans, you know, the shotgun might be more useful because he might have some more play time and playroom where he can actually annihilate the person instead of going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and that kind of situation where Smoke would still not have that much of a drop on someone because he doesn't have that kind of effect where he can visually impair someone, but not to the way that Echo does, where he slows down your movement and really takes you out of the game along those lines. But yeah, so overall, these Japanese operators look very interesting. Now, the most kind of the description that I got about or watching the gameplay is of Skyscraper, excuse me, was it's a lot like Chalet. That's what everyone described it as. And watching the gameplay, I don't think I could agree more. It seems to be a more multi-layered version of Chalet, with no basement, obviously. But honestly, it looks like a pretty solid map. Chalet is often pick. I don't know. It's not often pick in ESL. I'm getting that confused with something else. But honestly, Chalet isn't the worst of maps in the world. But it's definitely not the best. But this map here didn't look too bad. It definitely looked like a solid improvement of it. I'm just really happy that there's no infinite amount of destruction. The issue with Border, and especially Favela, was that as a defender, you just felt overwhelmed. Because you're like, okay, I'm going to reinforce all this. Oh wait, now all of this is left open. And sure, you could break it down to a strategic way of, okay, maybe you need to reinforce this, this, and this. But instead, it more aligns games down to, oh shit, I can't get anything reinforced. And now everyone can breach on it. It provides more level of strategic play, I guess, when you can reinforce certain things and not everything is destructible, because then it does come down to gun skill instead of going, hey, I'm going to spray through this wall until I kill someone. Now, of course, that's not a bad thing either. That's also situational awareness, and that is another skill of the Rainbow Six Siege community, but there needs to be a healthy balance of both in Rainbow Six Siege. It can't just be spray through wall, spray through wall, spray through wall, get a kill. It needs to be more in lines of, okay, you know, take your time. All right, hey, I had this engagement. Maybe I can shoot through here and maybe get lucky with them, or I saw him through a drone. There needs to be more skill involved instead of me just opening fire through a wall and being like, lol, I win. So overall, Skyscraper looks like a very fun map, and I'm actually interested to play it. But overall, that's really all to say about Operation Red Crow. I'm very excited for the DLC. I'll talk about more about the patch details and my hopes and dreams for it and whatnot in a video that will be out on Wednesday, because the new video upload schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, if you guys weren't aware. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch today's video. I really appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm the Dangerous Moose, and I will see you, Sexy Beast, in the next episode. Peace.